Alrighty, here's a continuation of point slope form. Writing linear equations in point slope form. A little bit different than slope intercept. Last time we talked about writing equations in point slope form and graphing equations in point slope form. Now we're going to do a little bit of writing equations when we're given 2 points. So we've done it before with slope intercept, and I'm going to show you the comparison between the two. We'll maybe do a little recap of the first two. But we're continuing the goal. I can write and graph linear equations using point slope form. So to recap, point slope form looks like this. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. So now remember, we had slope intercept form, which is y equals mx plus b. That's slope intercept. Where m, we had a number for m and a number for b. M was the slope and b was the y-intercept. All right. Now we have point slope form. You have a little bit different. It's called point slope form because we have a point x1, y1, and the slope m. So m is the slope. That's where the slope goes now. And it seems a little backwards having the y's in the front and the x's in the back, but the x1 is the x coordinate. The y1 is the y coordinate, and you do have the subtraction signs. So we reviewed if it is a plus sign, that means that the coordinate, that y value or x value, would be a negative. So it'd be minus negative, which becomes the plus. So for instance, like right here, what is the point? Since it's supposed to be subtraction, this would actually be x minus negative 2. That's how it became x plus 2. So the ordered pair then, what happened here? The ordered pair then is, the slope we have is 2 still. 2 over 1, that's from right here. And the ordered pair would be negative 2 and 6. Because it's supposed to be subtraction according to the formula. So whatever number is after the subtraction symbol would be the x or y value. Alright, now graphing it, you might recall we just take the point, which for this one, well, we have the slope is negative 4, negative 4/5. That comes from right in front of the parentheses. And the point would be minus 4, so that would be positive 4 would be the x value. This is a plus sign, so remember this would be y minus, that'd be negative 7 then. So this is 7. So our y value is in negative 7. So there's our x and y value. That's a point, and we have the slope. So we're going to graph the point. Instead of using the y-intercept like we would normally use, we have a point. So we go point 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, down 7. That's our starting point now. And we can use our slope and go down 4 and over 5. That's the rise over the run. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll have to add another line here. And over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it'd be right here. We can go backwards. We can go up 4 and back 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that would be the line. Because remember, you always need 3 points to make a line. So that's just a recap of last time. Now, let's get to what we need to do now. Writing an equation given 2 points. So it just says write the equation of a line that contains those 2 points. The way that we originally learned, and you can do it either way, was find the slope and then plug in 1 point and m to solve for b. And then put m and b into the slope-intercept form. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to find the slope. We're still going to find the slope. So using point slope form, we're going to find the slope. And actually, we'll compare the two. So we're going to do this first one again. We have we'll do that. So the m would be, let's do y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. That we should have ingrained in our heads by now. All right, would be 4 minus negative 3 all over 1 minus negative 2. Those become positive, so it would be 7 over 3, and that's our slope for this one. All right. And then what we would do is we'd take the point, one of the points, number 2 would be plugging in a point, so for y equals mx plus b, we plug in a point, so let's choose this one. We'd have negative 2 and negative 3, so we'd have negative 3 would go in for the y, so 7 over 3 times negative 2 plus b. Now this one looks like it's going to be messy, but we just solve for b, and so I found a mistake, and that would be that I wrote the wrong number in here for the slope. It should be y2 would be 3 minus negative 3, so this is 3 minus negative 3, which would be 6 over 3, which would equal 2, or 2 over 1. So if we plug in here, if we erase this and we plug in for the slope, would be 2 times negative 2, which is the x plus b. Then we can take this would be negative 3, multiplication, this would be negative 4 plus b. And to solve for b, we would simply add 5. So I add 4 to both sides. And that would cancel out here. We'd have 1 would be our b value. Now to put that back into slope-intercept form, now that we have the slope and we have the y-intercept, we'd have y equals 2 over 1 x plus 1. Now here's another way to do it, using point slope. This is a new way. All right, you can do it either way, but here's a new way. We're going to first find m again. Then we're going to plug in a point and m again for point slope form. And then finally we will solve, and if we want to put it in the slope-intercept form, then we can solve for y to get it back. Oops. This last one is optional. You don't necessarily have to unless it asks you to put it back in the slope-intercept form. So let's show these steps now. All right. We have our points, we have our ordered pairs, and we have our points. So same thing, finding m. Step 1 would be finding m. M is equal to y2, move that back, y2 minus y1 over, okay, 2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which would be, we plug in the points, we have 3 minus negative 3 over 2 minus, or 1 minus negative 2. And when you change those to plus positives, this would be 6 over 3, which is 2 over 1. There's the m. So step 2, plugging that and a point back in the point slope form. I'm going to use this time I'm going to use 1, 3, the ordered pair 1, 3. All right, so we're going to, in this point slope form, move this down a little bit. We have step 2 would be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We're going to put in 2 over 1 for the slope, or just 2. The x value is x minus whatever the x value is. We're going to use ordered pair 1, 3. So the x value is 1. Over here it's going to be y minus the y value, which is 3. So there it is. That's point slope form right there. That is the equation of a line. We don't have to do anything further if we don't want to. But to put it into slope intercept form, we could then, well, distribute. So we'll distribute here. So we'd have y minus 3 equals 2x minus 2, and then add 3 to both sides. We'd have to add 3 to the part that's alike right there. This would be y equals 2x. This is plus negative 2. So negative 2 plus 3 would be positive 1. So now we have it in slope-intercept form. And it's the same exact equation that we had over here. So both ways work. Please take note of both ways. It's up to you which way you want to choose. Whichever way you think is easier. Now, sometimes I think point slope form is easier, but you have to remember the point slope form formula. So that would be that. And if you have questions, please write them down to ask next time. So that covers our goal of writing and graphing linear equations using point slope form. Have a great day.